Continuing right along with where people past and present in the system. So I'm talking about the big black FBI guy from the Metro Mover that followed me downstairs and was like was inviting me to come work with him as his personal secretary. Okay. Now, I just got chills up my spine. The guy was very affable, of course. When they send people, it's a ploy. When they send people that are people that they think you may be able to relate to a little more, they always send people. They know what they're doing. They're sending these people for a reason. So at that time in my life, that's the only type of dudes that I talked to. The guy would have to be at least 6'5", at least 240 pounds for me to even flash a smile or give the time of day. Back at that time, that's how it was. So here comes this huge dude out of nowhere. Obviously, not trying to hide the fact that he's with some type of intelligence agency or whatever. On the Metro Mover, huge, attractive, overwhelming, two dudes with the earpieces looking like Men in Black with him, okay? And following me down the stairs, offering me his business card, which clearly shows the FBI headquarters for Miami on there. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Then when I look him up, he's like an professional football player. And he's like into biogenetic engineering for the superhuman or something crazy like that. And this dude, I don't know, I never contacted him because I was like, no way. Then another situation, there was an agency that I worked with, and because of the legal thing, I had left the job that I was with the media company, to go to this other position that was recruiting me or whatever you want to call it. So now here I am, requesting to get another job with this agency. And then she had a hard time. And what happened was I went to find a pro bono lawyer. The pro bono lawyer, the boss of that person, actually says he knows the regional director of that agency that I was with, and he would talk to her and get me something. And then he was like, oh, I can get you a job in the FBI office. So they kept wanting to give me a position in the FBI office. And I was just like, I have a legal situation going on and you want to give me a job at the FBI headquarters? I don't get it. It's crazy. And I was just like, he was just like, oh, it could be just for a day. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. But the thought of it just creeped me out. I'm like, no, no, thank you. I'm good. I didn't contact him back on that. But I continued to keep the young lady that he had for the lawyer. And that's a whole different story. But I'm just talking about the weird people past and present. So present, this dude that I'm telling you about, walking to this go-see or whatever, he happens to walk up at the exact same time that I'm walking up. Okay? And so I'm just saying hello. And with the phones and stuff, you program in whatever address you're going to, blah, blah, blah. Didn't think nothing of it. But he already had his name printed on papers as a regional director. The first thing that I'm thinking is, that he's not the regional director. He looks like some dude off the street, somebody else that just probably works here. And he's just testing out his being fresh skills. But he wasn't. Whatever. So, I'm like tired of talking now. But so what ends up happening is that if you watch the last one, you'll know. But I ended up giving him my contact information, and then I kind of questioned myself on it. Like, I had no intention of giving him any information about me, but now I've given him all of my contact information personally on a piece of paper. And, I questioned myself. I said, did I do that just because he says that he's the regional director? And I kind of felt bad about that, because would I have done that if he wasn't? And then I thought, well, maybe the reason I'm doing it is because I need a job and I don't want to be rude. And, now that I know he is, it's not a bad thing, because this is but then, I just thought about it back and forth, like, but, if he's a regional director, he can get that off my job application. And if he wants to contact me and have some personal discourse with me, he can do that in that manner, on whatever time. But then what he mentions to me that makes me feel like it's okay is that he has some other businesses and projects that he's working on. But then what makes me feel weird is that as I'm sitting and talking with the guy, he comes in, and that's fine. Then he finishes saying what he has to say. He walks off, and this other dude, I don't know who this other guy is, and if I speak to him again, I may ask him about it, but that's not the most important thing. This other guy comes in and gives me like this weird dap and leaves the room. I'm like, who is this dude? You know? So I'm thinking somehow they found me somewhere on the internet, blah, blah, blah. And not a big deal. I'm not hiding from nobody. It's out there. I put myself out there because I like who I am, you know? or I'm attempting to re-like who I am, so it's all good. It's part of the process, so fine, if that's the case. But it was just weird. And then he called me like on Saturday. I didn't answer the phone. He called me and left me a message that I didn't check until today because I was determined I didn't want to. And then but I called him because I told him when I gave him, I told him if I missed a call or whatever that I would call him back, in a reasonable amount of time. I said 24 hours, but I really went back and forth about calling him back at all because I was just like, I have with the company that he's supposedly regional director for, I have to go to that job next week. And so just in case for some reason, and y'all can see I don't feel like this is going to pan out, but just in case, I didn't want to mess that up because if he comes to me with something stupid, I have to let him know, hey, I don't roll like that. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? And that may mess up my regular job. And when I was doing at that place, when the guys, saw about the phone number and stuff, and he was like, don't worry, I don't ever answer my phone either after that dude left. So he was trying to let me know, regardless of what goes down with this dude, I work there and I shouldn't F it up by even speaking to this guy, because he don't know what he's about either. So I'm out of breath now. And I'm tired, and I'm dizzy, and all that good stuff. Let me get some water, if I can find a water bottle, because I have stuff thrown everywhere, because I was supposed to come back and clean up, but I did not. And I don't know where my water bottle is, which is a sad story, because the water bottle is pretty big. But anyhow, so, I'm exhausted. Okay. Oh, am I over? No, I'm not overtime yet. So with this dude, he was just trying to let me know. And I got the same feeling a little bit kind of sort of in a way that I got when I went to that office years ago in Miami. And the receptionist seemed really nervous, when she was interviewing me. Well, not interviewing me, but when she was, taking me in. And she was like, good luck, because she knew these people didn't work for her. Now, with this situation, I don't think the dude that I interviewed with, I don't think that he knew that this person didn't work or did not work or whatever. All he knew was that, the person probably hasn't been in that position long, and he just, saw where there may be a potential for weirdness. I did talk to this man. He didn't come off to me weird or anyway, or flirtatious or nothing like that. To me, he was talking to me, even though we're probably the same age, he was talking to me like a father would talk to a daughter. And he was telling me what he saw about me, what he knew about me. And when I expressed to him that, basically it was okay, he just wanted to confirm whatever it was his assumption about me and whatever. And then he went on into this, sounded like a dad talking to his daughter about this diamond in the rough thing. And I'm like, I'm 40 years old. There is no diamond in the rough. It's just rough right now. You know what I'm saying? Those days are over. And then he's talking to me about something different, my intelligence level. Most people wouldn't be able to handle it. I have to humble myself and bring myself down to meet whatever level that other people are on, which may or may not be true. And actually it is, but I would never confirm that. I mean, because it's not all about that. And excuse me, it's not all about that. It's about, the maturity of other people too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all about that at all. But so it's not really, it depends on how you want to look at it. It's, why not elevate yourself? So, and I don't feel at this point in my life that I'm intelligent as I used to be. So all of those were words. And I didn't talk to him long enough for him to even, like prior to our conversation today, I didn't talk to him long enough for him to be able to determine if I was intelligent or not. The only thing I said to him was I don't give out all of my information when he asked me for my last name because I don't know this man. All I know is that he's some dude that probably works here and just like me will be rolled in and rolled out with the tots, So I don't know this guy. But as we're talking, I can see that what it is him sharing information with me, seeing how I respond, and probably trying to confirm whatever information he had. Now, then he went on to tell me about himself. This is the part, like I said, where these people that are involved with these organizations, I think that they have an obligation to let you know, as part of their performance, to let you know that they are a part of FBI, CIA, whatever, whatever. And he says, yeah, you know, I have to be honest with you. He told me he came from, I forget where he said he came from, someplace, went to school for engineering, dropped out after 3 years, was in corporate world for a while. Then he just basically mirrored, you know, like my background that I gave to him, except he turned it around a little bit. Then he was like, and he was like, well, and he had to be honest with me. He was a profiler for the state for a while. Not sure what all that is about, but you know, and I was just like profiler. The only thing I'm thinking is like criminal profiler. So I looked that up, and when I looked up criminal profile, just I looked up profiler, and it says criminal profiler is a criminologist who studies a criminal's behavior for clues to psychology to aid in capturing them. Okay, so that's what a profiler is, and that's what he told me. And he didn't say he used to be. He says I worked as. So I don't know, just creepy stuff, you know. And then the dude was telling me about. So I don't know what he's doing. This could be another little setup thing, but what he was telling me about was that he had an office downtown, which is good because I was just telling y'all that I need a place, you know, to go within walking distance. But I don't know, like I said, how this is gonna pan out. You know, he has a place downtown. He has an office, and basically he wanted me doing something with all the calls are coming into the computer, and I'm basically getting paid for just sitting there. But I'm just like, you know, that's fine and all, but I don't want this to be switched around because from what I understood, from what the other man was telling me in the office, he didn't make it seem so exotic. He started talking about this dude here, the regional, whatever, started talking about the red pill and the blue pill. So, of course, I'm like, what's that all about? Because I'm into crazy stuff like that. But basically, it's when he left, the guy was like, he's just telling you about what I was telling you about. They had some office like in Indonesia somewhere. And then he was asking me if I had a passport. So, I mean, just, you know, I'm not leaving the country if y'all are watching. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not under any type of thing where I can't go anywhere. But yeah, it's just, I'm not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can, you know, but I'm not. I mean, because this dude, you know, that's pretty big. And then when I went to talk to him about that, conveniently, he had a phone call that came in. And I think somebody called while we were talking and he let it go. Then they called again. And then he said it was his manager. And, you know, a man is a man, regardless of what position he's in. So probably, you know, he has a female on the phone, even though it's a quote unquote potential employee or whatever. But he's probably throwing the same spill to a few different females. And depending on the aggressiveness of the female, he, you know, all of that, you know, even though it's quote unquote professional, is, you know, it's a man's mind or a man's the way a man does things. So, you know, of course, it's probably, you know, not that. Then he went back to the phone was dying and whatever. So I have all these weird things going on in my life, and I wasn't gonna blog about it because, like I said, it's too much at one time. Too much at one time. But I believe in a higher power, you know, and the way technology is, it could be God. It could just be the fact that your smartphone and your computers and everything are eavesdropping on what you're doing, so somebody knows your moves and what makes you tick, and they're just throwing stuff in your path because they can. You know, who knows? But my life is weird. We all know it. You see it, and sometimes the weirdness is exacerbated because it all happens at one time, which is manifested in today from the beginning to end, from the thing about work and after work, during work, all of this. It's just weird. So it is what it is. You know, I don't have any control over it. I just have to ride it out, you know, and I've never had things be as weird as this in my life right now. This is just a weird time for me. And there's not even, to my knowledge, a legal situation or anything goes on, because things get weird in legal situations because they make them weird intentionally. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. So yeah, but anyways, I'm gone. I'm going to try to get some rest for the night because I still got to get up in the morning. I love y'all. Peace.